Hello everyone, I'm Richard Boyd from Energetics Institute and welcome back to our series, Surviving the Lockdown. So the Scott Morrison government this week announced that they do not want people socialising or gathering in groups of any more than 2 people. So obviously this cuts down the amount of social engagement that each of us are being asked to do. Now, that is fully understandable from a COVID-19 point of view, but from a mental health point of view, our mental health is actually predicated on us getting a certain amount of social engagement or contact with others every day. So given that we must isolate, and given that there's less opportunity now to gather in group settings, what can we do to help ourselves? Well, let's start by saying that analog activities, and my definition of analog activity is it doesn't involve digital technology like a phone or a tablet or something like that. There are a lot of activities we can all be doing. Reading, for instance. Books. We all used to read books. Now very few people read books, but we can all get a physical book out and have a read. We also can write and journal what's going on in the next few months. That can be very powerful for self-realization. Journaling is not only a technique of relaxation, but can be also a technique of self-discovery and self-consciousness. So there too. The other thing is board games. So most of us have all got locked in a cupboard somewhere, an old board game such as Monopoly or a deck of cards. So here's a tip. You can all play Monopoly with the people in your home. Now, not everyone listening to this video series is actually living with other people. Well, then what you can do is, yes, get out technology and you can assemble a virtual group playing Monopoly. So what you do is have everyone get out their Monopoly board wherever they live, and then you get on the phone and do a group connect. And when someone rolls the dice, you move the token around the board just as if they were in the room, and everyone else does that in their setting, so everyone can look at the board and see what's going on. Obviously, when you get money or sell properties, you're the only one who physically handles those artifacts of the game. So you can actually play and watch how the game progresses because you are tracking it in a group setting. Likewise, with a deck of cards, you need 2 decks of cards. So this is how it works. One deck is the deck that you're actually playing with. The other deck is actually turned upwards in its order by suit. So there's 4 suits, and in ascending order, lay all the cards out. What that does is that if the other person who you're playing cards with draws a card off the deck, and let's say it's a card that needs to be put into the middle, you can find that card quickly from the second deck of cards and put it out in front of you so you have the context of where the game is at. You still hold your cards close to your chest, so only you are seeing them. But what that means is that you can also still interact playing cards with each other. So there's 2 examples. Drawing, of course. Drawing is really good for the brain. It's a great stress reliever. And also creating your own stories that you can then share digitally with others. So there's lots of improvisation going on online. While we can though, it's good to get outside. One of the problems with the lockdown is that people can easily resort to just lying around, literally. Now that's not good for your mental or physical health. The body moving in time and space actually releases stress through getting the muscles to work and release any tension. But also the sunlight actually affects right here, the pineal gland, and that in turn regulates our night-day rhythm, the circadian rhythm, which is the master regulator of all the hormonal systems in our body. If that goes out of whack, which you often see when people get sleep disorders, you notice you don't feel your best. So get out each day and get some sunlight. If you've got an animal and it's amenable to walking, walk the animal, so walk the dog. Try and still maintain your social distance, but still get out there and do something. It's simple tips like this that can help us survive the lockdown. And as we can see, we're in a progressive lockdown where over time it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So what you do now counts. Create the new routine, create the new structures in your life and commit to those and balance the amount of time doing analog versus the amount of time doing digital. Too much digital will hyper arouse the brain. It hyper stimulates the eye sense, which is attached to the visual cortex of the brain, and then you may then start to have issues with getting to sleep. So please practice everything in balance. Moderation with alcohol, moderation with food. Okay, so I'll come back tomorrow and we'll talk more about how we can support each other in surviving the lockdown. Thank you. Bye for now.